So the very first thing you should notice here is that we have two groups. We have 15 times 3 in one group, and then we have a second group here, 10 times 4 minus 2. But within this second group, we have a nested group. We have 10 times 4 in parentheses. So the first thing we're going to do is solve for our first group. Now that I solved for the first group, I did 15 times 3, and that got me 45. I'm going to move on to my second group. I know that with this second group, I have a nested group. These parentheses around the 10 times 4 shows me that before I subtract 2, I need to do 10 times 4. Okay. We know that 10 times 4 is going to give us 40. So I wrote down 40, and I'm going to bring everything else down. I still have my parentheses. So before I move on, I need to continue solving everything that's inside of these brackets. So now I'm going to do 40 minus 2, and that gets me 38. Now that I am solving everything inside of my parentheses, I can finally finish up. So now I have 45 minus 38, and we know that gives us 7. Before moving on, I'm going to check my work. So I'm going to go back to each step, and I'm going to write out exactly what I did to make sure that my work is correct here. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to each step to double check my work. So for this first step, I did 10 times 4 because that's inside of the nested parentheses, so I know that I have to do that first. Great, did that correctly. Moving on to the second part, now that I have 40, I can subtract 2 from 40. Great, did a super job there. Moving on to the next part. And now for this final step, now that I have solved everything inside of my parentheses, I can move on and subtract 38 from 45. Great, so I checked my work.